How are you lovely people doing today? My name is John, and I am bringing you guys another episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A, the series in which I take your questions about the zombie storyline and I answer them. It can be a big question, small, complex, simple, does not matter. I am more than happy to answer your questions. Remember, it is imperative that you guys leave questions, otherwise this series cannot work. So if you have any question, feel free to leave it down below. No question is a stupid question. Before we begin though, I'd like to remind you guys, you can follow me at JGB215, and when we hit 100 followers on Twitter, I will be doing an open lobby live stream, so keep that in mind. Without further ado, let's begin. The first question I have comes from Mathayu Manimbo, and he says, when you complete the Maxis Easter egg in Buried, why would Maxis betray the characters? Maxis betrays you and your fellow survivors because you don't matter. These characters that you've played as are pawns. Their lives have little importance to Maxis' grand schemes. He could have used anybody for his bidding. Maxis is using you so that he can take control of the Aether, dethrone Richtofen, and find Samantha. Now that he's achieved your goal, he will just leave you stranded to die. You're chopped liver at this point. He doesn't need you, so he's just gonna leave you to die. Maxis is not a great guy, and this really reveals his inner evil. He is not a good man like we thought he was. Moving on, the next question comes from Tom Plays Games, and he asks, how did the baby gun appear in Shangri-La? Was it through Element 115, or was it another invention? The origins of the baby gun, otherwise known as the 3179 JGB215, is shrouded with mystery, although we know some interesting information about it. Richtofen informed us that Maxis created the weapon. He mentions this when you get the weapon from the box.
I knew Maxis was working on such a device, but I had no idea he was successful.
During the period where Group 935 basically enslaved the people of Shangri-La, he must have invented the weapon. I'd imagine it was used to help control the people and prevent them from stepping out of line. One point of interest is the gun's name. Its formal title is the 3179 JGB215. When you convert the letters into numbers based on their appearance in the alphabet, you get 3179 107 215. Jumble it up a little and you get 31 1.072 79 2.15. Plugging these coordinates into Google Maps shows you an area in the Himalayas. We believe this is where Shangri-La is located. This is where I think the map takes place. Whether or not Maxis has been to Shangri-La, though, is a point of debate, so this is where things get complicated. How could Maxis have built the gun if it looks like something straight out of Shangri-La, has the coordinates of Shangri-La, but has never been there? I really have no explanation for this, but it's something to think about in whether or not we can really trust what Richtofen says. Is he a reliable character? The final question I have comes from Robbie Hunt, and he asks, what's the deal with Marlton in the bunker on Nuketown? Is it just a pointless Easter egg, or does it have something to do with the story? Many of you have been asking me a lot about Marlton in the bunker, and I felt it was time to address it. Marlton being there is an Easter egg, although it is not a pointless Easter egg. For those of you that don't know, this is the egg. Here it is.
The air is thick with the sounds of carnivorous beasts. Execute them before they overwhelm us. Grow a pair of eyes already. There are zombies on the damn roof. Visibility here is near zero. What is the point? I cannot believe this is the best route to where we are going.
If you read the description of Nuketown, you'll learn that, to quote, a group of radiation scientists are investigating the Nuketown remains and discover that soldiers have been revived by Element 115 from a nearby Nevada base. The zombie soldiers attack the radiation scientist. End quote. Marlton must have been one of these radiation scientists. When attacked by zombies, he fled into the bunker and hid, while his fellow colleagues were slaughtered. When your team comes into Nuketown, you can hear him in the bunker trying to figure out whether or not the coast is clear. He hears the zombies outside and decides to stay inside where he is safe. Once the coast is clear, we assume that he stepped out and somehow met up with Misty, where they eventually go on to do the events at Transit. Anyway, that's about it for this week's episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, or favorite. And remember, if you have any question about the Zombie Storyline, feel free to leave it down below. It's imperative that you guys leave questions, otherwise these series cannot work. My name is John. Have a fantastic day. Please sub, follow me on Twitter, and bye.